Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing 5 top reasons why you should not get a pet. Yes, come along with me and let me tell you why. Being a veterinarian, I tend to have a lot of requests from people. I would like to have a dog, or I would like to have a cat. Can I adopt or can I buy one? A lot of people come to me and asking me to get a new pet, and sometimes I tend to just try and advise them, because it's not just about getting a new pet. There's a whole lot of ball game to it that most people do not know. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing with you 5 reasons why I don't think you should have a pet. So the first reason is high maintenance. Yes, that's reason number 1. A lot of people do not know that having a pet goes way beyond just having a companion or having an animal that you can cuddle with, that you can play with. It is far beyond that, and they don't realize that you have a lot of work to do. It is quite time consuming. So if you know that you're somebody that you don't have time to be taking care of an animal, to be cleaning their pieces, to be cleaning where they stay, to think about their food, to take them for daily walks. So it's not even just about, some people say, okay, maybe I'm not going to get a dog, I might get a fish, right? Even if you have a fish or you have a bird in the house as a pet, there's still some work that you're going to be doing, because these animals cannot do it by themselves. They can't feed themselves. They can't clean the area that they stay or that they live, right? So you're still going to be doing all the things by yourself for them. So it is quite time consuming. So if you're someone that is not ready to give in that work, I suggest that you do not get a pet. So the second reason that we'll be discussing is high expenses. Yes, the beginning of everything is just the money that you're going to spend to purchase the pet. That is if you're purchasing. Some of you are lucky and then you get to adopt the pet, right? So whether you are purchasing a pet or you're adopting a pet, that is just the beginning of all the responsibility. You have a lot of other expenses that you're going to be paying for. For example, veterinary bills. I am a vet and I know how much I do charge for my services, be it vaccination, deworming, home service. Anything you're going to be doing requires you to spend money, right? Another thing you're going to be spending money on is food. Animal food is not cheap. Be it a dog, be it a cat, a rabbit, whatever pet you're thinking of having in your house, you're going to be feeding those pets. And if you want your pets to look healthy and look good, it's best to use the required meal for them. And those required meals are not cheap, so you're going to be spending money feeding them. Even let's now go to their habitat where they're going to be staying. You might need to buy a cage. You might need to construct a cage. If you're not buying, you might want to construct. Those things are going to actually take out from your pocket, right? And another thing again is you're going to be grooming. So let's assume you get a dog or you get a cat. You're going to need to groom this pet, right? You bathe them, you buy shampoo, you buy their cleaning equipment and things like that. So if you're somebody that you're managing your salary, you're still trying to feed yourself, I do not advise you to get a pet. So the third reason we're going to be looking at today is damage to house or property. Yes, a lot of people do not realize that when you have a pet, there's chances of your things being damaged. For example, you have a dog. I don't know why I keep mentioning dogs, right? So I guess that is like one of the most common pets that people have in their homes. So if you have a dog, for example, dogs like to chew, like they're always trained on one thing or another. You might say, oh, my dog, I'm going to train the dog. Before the dog gets trained, even some trained dogs, right, to an extent, if they are bored, like they're so bored, or they want to show a sign of aggression, they tend to still chew. They chew the couch, they chew the carpet, they chew on so many things they can find, even your slippers, you know it, right? Then even cats, right? You might say, oh, but cats are not like that. Cats are more gentle, they're more reserved. But then don't forget that cats like to do a lot of climbing, right? They climb, and as they're climbing, before you know it, they're falling down things, they're destroying things and stuff like that, right? So no matter the animal, there's going to be a particular level of damage to your property. Now let me expatiate more on this, right? You might feel, okay, I'm not getting a dog or a cat, I might be getting a bird. Let's remember that these animals also excrete, right? They poo, they pee. As long as they excrete, they're going to have a particular scent that comes out. right? So even if you have a bird in the cage and you're like, oh, my bird is going to be in the cage, it's not going to be doing anything in the house, they can't destroy. Remember that your bird is going to pee and poo, and at some point in time the odor begins to circulate around the house. If I'm a visitor and I come to your house, there's no how I will know that there's a pet in your house, because it gives a different odor. So be it a dog, a cat, whatever pet you have in the house, you're going to have a different odor in your house. Like, use all the what's it called, the air fresheners and everything, you're still gonna have a different odor in your house. So if you know that you are not comfortable with your property being damaged once in a while, or sometimes, I suggest that you do not get a pet. So the fourth reason is lack of freedom. Yes, so if you're somebody that you actually like your freedom, like you don't like to joke with it, after work you want to go out, in the weekends you want to travel, you like to go for vacation and things like that, I suggest that you do not get a pet, because you can't have a pet and just be doing all this unless you have somebody that is looking after them. So for example, you're staying alone, you're living alone, you and your dog, you and your cat, and you just want to go out for the weekend. Who's going to look after your pet? You have to ask yourself that question. Who's going to feed your pet? Who's going to clean the environment when they poo or pee? And if it's a trained animal, a trained pet, who's going to take the pet to where they're going to pee or poo? Those things are things that you're going to need to consider. So if you like your freedom, like to live the life, you like to travel, go out and stuff like that, you need to remember that you have a pet at home. You can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm out, I'm doing this, I've meant it, I'm going to do this, and I'm traveling. No, you have to remember that, oh, I have a pet. Who's going to feed the pet for the days that will not be here? So if you really like your freedom so much, I suggest that you do not get a pet. So the fifth reason is allergies, and I know that this particular reason is going to shock a lot of people, because they'll be wondering, allergies, is it the dog that is allergic, or who is going to be allergic, right? But it is the fifth reason because it happens, right? And I've seen it happening live and direct to a client of mine. There's sometimes some people do not know that they are allergic to animals, right? Because maybe because you have not lived with some before, but there are some animals that you just get allergic to, not because of any reason in particular. I have a personal client who she had a dog for some months, and she noticed that her health began to deteriorate, right? She started falling ill and stuff like that, sneezing and having a lot of allergic reactions, and she kept going to the hospital to treat herself here and there, only for months later to find out that, oh, it's actually that she's allergic to the dog, and each time the dog is taken away, she feels better, right? So there are some people that are actually like that. You might not know you are allergic to a pet at the beginning because you have never experienced such before, but at the long run you begin to notice that, oh, this and this is happening to you. In some cases it might not even be you, it might be someone that stays with you, it might be your family member, it can be a friend that visits occasionally, and each time the person comes to your house, because you have a pet, you're getting allergic. That can actually affect your relationship, right? Because the person might not want to visit as often as they would really love to, and at the end of the day you might begin to ask yourself, okay, do I get rid of this pet so that this person will continue to visit me? Or supposing it's someone that is even staying in the house with you and the person is allergic to the pet, right? You have to choose, and most likely you obviously choose the human that is staying with you, unless you can do without the human. Here you go. Those are the 5 top reasons why I feel you should not get a pet. If you've watched the video from the beginning to the end and you feel this resonates with you, some of the points I dropped was resonating with you, and like, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can live with this, I suggest that you do not get a pet. Not everybody should have a pet. You can greet your neighbor's pet from a distance, right? But not everybody should have a pet. So thank you for watching this video. See you guys on my next video. Bye.